As expected, international entertainment sites quickly joined the fray. Koreaboo, K-pop stars, India Times, and others published articles, often with sensational headlines. Many readers who skimmed the titles believed the controversy was bigger than it actually was. The problem was compounded by translation gaps. Nuances in the Tattooist's original language, like the tone of the word embarrassed, were lost in English, leading to harsher interpretations abroad. Suddenly, the Tattooist's casual frustration was immortalized in articles across the globe. Every phrase was dissected, and fans worldwide debated its meaning, often without context. The case became a case study in the blurring of boundaries in K-pop culture. In idol culture, performers are often seen as public property. Fans, having invested emotionally and financially, sometimes feel entitled to access every part of their idols' lives. But when that entitlement spills over onto the idol's friends, stylists, or tattooists, the results can be toxic. Unlike celebrities, these individuals didn't sign up for global scrutiny. Yet, by association, they become targets. Scholars of fandom studies argue that this phenomenon is not unique to BTS. However, because BTS has one of the largest fan bases in the world, the effects are amplified to an extraordinary degree. In the midst of chaos, a more thoughtful response emerged. Influential ARMY fanbases began campaigns like Respect BTS's Circle. Their message was simple. Real love for BTS means protecting not just the members but also the people around them. Threads circulated with tips on fandom etiquette. Do not DM staff, do not pry into personal lives, do not harass associates. Many fans echoed this sentiment, emphasizing that boundaries are an act of care. Though these campaigns gained traction, the reality remained. In a fandom as massive as ARMY, there will always be extremes. For every fan preaching respect, there were others continuing to cross the line. After the uproar, the Tattooist went quiet. They deleted some old posts, limited comments, and refrained from mentioning BTS publicly. This silence left fans guessing. Some speculated that they had regretted speaking out. Others believed they were simply waiting for the storm to pass. A few hoped they would return to sharing their art, separate from the drama. The uncertainty kept the story alive. Ironically, by saying less, the Tattooist fueled more speculation. This saga is more than just fandom drama. It highlights the delicate ecosystem of global stardom, where idols, fans, associates, and media intersect. Jungkook and Jimin were innocent bystanders, yet their names dominated headlines. The Tattooist only wanted to vent frustration, yet ended up on the world stage. Fans, too, were forced to confront uncomfortable truths about the consequences of entitlement. The takeaway is clear. True love for an artist means respecting their humanity, not consuming their lives as entertainment. Protecting privacy isn't just about shielding BTS. It's about allowing the people around them to exist without fear of harassment. As BTS continues to inspire millions, the fandom must evolve too. Respect and maturity are no longer optional. They are essential for the survival of a healthy fan-idol relationship in a hyper-connected world. What seemed like a small ripple on social media quickly became a global wave. A tattooist closely linked to BTS, famous for giving members their iconic 7 tattoos, took to their account to vent frustration. For months, fans had bombarded them with messages about Jimin and Jungkook, often pressing for details about the idols' personal lives. The Tattooist's patience finally snapped. Their message was clear and sharp. Stop asking me about BTS. I am not your messenger. In a digital world hungry for drama, those words spread like wildfire. Screenshots circulated across platforms, hashtags trended, and within hours the Tattooist was no longer just an artist, but the center of a fandom-wide controversy. To some, their words were fair, a boundary every professional deserved. To others, they felt like an attack on the very fans who had supported their work. Beneath the noise lies a deeper issue. How much access do fans deserve to the lives of idols, and by extension, the people around them? The Tattooist case highlights a growing problem in K-pop, the tendency for fans to treat anyone in an idol's orbit as a bridge to their personal world. Stylists, choreographers, staff, even friends and family often find themselves targeted. Experts suggest this cycle won't end without collective change. Agencies like HYB must protect not only idols but also their associates from harassment. Fans, meanwhile, need to reflect on the difference between admiration and entitlement. And for professionals like the Tattooist, The lesson may be to maintain stricter boundaries, perhaps by disengaging from social media entirely. In the end, Jimin and Jungkook never addressed the controversy. Their silence was both a shield and a statement. The noise belonged to fans and media, not to them. The Tattooist's outburst, however, left a lasting mark. It forced the fandom to look into the mirror, at its passion, its flaws, and the thin line between love and intrusion. Since their 2013 debut, BTS have been more than just a boy band. They have become cultural icons who consistently push boundaries. Beyond their chart-topping hits and sold-out stadium tours, the members are also seen as symbols of self-expression through fashion, art, and even body modification. Tattoos, in particular, have carried a special weight in their narrative. In South Korea, tattoos still carry a stigma. They are often associated with rebellion, delinquency, or underground culture. Yet Jungkook challenged that perception when he openly displayed his tattoos. Among them, the word ARMY, etched across his knuckles, symbolizing the group's eternal bond with their fandom. His other tattoos include 0613, the date of BTS's debut, and a series of symbols tied to personal milestones. Jimin, while less tattooed, has also shown pieces that hold personal meaning, such as the word nevermind on his ribs, once visible during performances. Behind these tattoos stands a trusted tattooist, an artist not only responsible for the ink itself but also for providing a safe space for BTS members to express themselves. Over time, the tattooist became a familiar figure among fans, but that familiarity eventually turned into intrusion. Fans' curiosity about BTS's private lives began to spill over onto the tattooist, whose social media became flooded with messages, many of which were far from respectful. The controversy did not start overnight. For years, the tattooist had been receiving private messages from fans. At first, most were harmless, words of gratitude for designing meaningful tattoos, or simple admiration for their artistry. But slowly, the tone of these messages shifted. Some fans started to pry, asking intrusive questions like, "Did you see Jungkook and Jimin together outside the studio?" Or, "Do you know if they are dating?" Others pressed for photographs or stories that crossed the line into personal privacy. First, the tattooist ignored these messages, hoping the curiosity would fade. But the opposite happened. The influx grew stronger. Fans began assuming that anyone close to BTS must also be part of their private world, and the tattooist became a target of obsession. After years of quietly enduring this, the tattooist finally decided to speak up. 1000 words, detailed recounting of message types, how the tone escalated, and how the tattooist struggled with boundaries before reaching a breaking point. The statement itself was brief, but its ripples spread far. In an online post, the tattooist confessed to feeling embarrassed by the flood of messages from fans regarding Jungkook and Jimin. They emphasized that being close to the idols did not make them a source of gossip or secret revelations. The wording was sharp enough to feel like a scolding. By explicitly naming Jungkook and Jimin, the tattooist made the post personal, not abstract. For some, this was necessary to make fans reflect on their behavior, but for others, it felt like an unnecessary attack on the fandom as a whole. Within hours, the post went viral. Korean news outlets picked up the story. International blogs followed. What was meant as a personal outburst directed at a small corner of the fandom was now global news, amplified beyond recognition. The fandom's response was polarized. One camp applauded the tattooist, calling their honesty refreshing and necessary. These fans argued that the post served as a wake-up call about respecting privacy. The other camp, however, felt insulted. They accused the tattooist of overstepping, of using BTS's name for clout, and of making ARMY look bad. On Twitter/X, hashtags like #RespectBTSPrivacy and #TattooistOutOfLine trended simultaneously. Reflecting the division on forums like Reddit and Weverse, debates raged. Some fans cited personal responsibility. "If you didn't send those messages, this isn't about you." Others countered. By naming Jungkook and Jimin, they implicated all of us. The issue snowballed into yet another example of how fragile the relationship between fandom and BTS's inner circle can be. Although neither Jungkook nor Jimin had anything to do with the post, their names became collateral damage. Headlines around the world framed the story with their names front and center. Tattooist embarrassed by messages about BTS's Jungkook and Jimin. Instead of celebrating BTS's achievements, like milestone anniversaries or music chart victories, the spotlight shifted to drama they never asked for. Fans worried that casual readers would misinterpret the story, assuming some kind of scandal involving Jungkook and Jimin. This dynamic reflected a frustrating truth for BTS. No matter how careful they are about keeping their private lives separate, the people around them can still inadvertently drag them into the public eye.